President Biden, Vice President Harris, former presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Gail, Jean Heller, Jane Elliott, Dr. Oz, Ellen, Fred Hampton Jr., Anderson Cooper. I desperately need your help. I need movers and shakers such as yourselves. I need people who can move the world. I am in the midst of a present day Tuskegee study. I am not and have not been receiving the care that I so desperately need, and it's purposeful. I took some notes down to make sure that I say everything that I want to say and not take up too much time, so that's why I'm glancing over at my paperwork. Oh my God, I need help. In April of last year, I went into the ER for continued symptoms of a dental infection. I thought I would just go in there and get some blood work, and they would tell me if I had an infection or not. I was told I needed a CT scan with contrast. I've always been healthy, never had a health problem, so of course I questioned that. And I was told so the CT scan would allow them to see inside my jaw. I was hesitant, but eventually I had the procedure. Not 2 weeks later, almost 2 weeks exactly, I was awakened in the middle of the morning to an alarming burning directly in the center of my chest. Just like in a ball of fire, it felt like burning in the center of my chest. I shot up out of my sleep. I didn't know what was happening to me. I talked to my doctor later, the dentist that I was talking to via the phone only because the pandemic had just struck. I was told it was probably heartburn. I had never experienced heartburn in my life, but I knew it wasn't that. About 24 hours later, the same time in the middle of the morning, I was reawakened to a burning that ran through my entire torso. It felt like some hot liquid, some fire, something was being just poured down inside my body. I jumped up. I didn't know what was happening to me. I was told it was probably menopause. The things that I've been told are just ridiculous. It wasn't menopause. Weeks passed and weeks passed. My arms began just burning from the inside, not on the surface, but all in my arms just started burning. My breasts started burning. The burning was so bad in my breasts, and it was crazy because it went through both of my breasts at the exact same time. It even encircled my nipples. I just stood there. I didn't know what was happening to me. I called and scheduled a mammogram. Now, this is back in August. I called and scheduled a mammogram. Had the mammogram, was told my mammogram was great and I was good for another 4 years. Now, my initial thought was, okay, thank God my mammogram is great, but how is it possible that all of a sudden I'm having all this burning, alarming burning in my breasts, and my mammogram is good, it's perfect. Okay, I had initially no cause to suspect that I was being lied to. I just didn't know what was happening to me all of a sudden. But they kept telling me this was good and that was good, and I was taking their word as a good bit of health. Of course, I want to be healthy, as I've always been. So I was taking it as what they were telling me. Symptoms continued to happen. my arms continued to burn, particularly my right arm, the arm where I had the CT, the contrast injected. It's always swollen. I've been in the ER. I've shown the nurse that my completely swollen and red, clear to see. I had some cortisone cream rubbed on my arm one time, as if that was going to help. I was in front of one of my PCPs, my then PCP at the time, arm just swollen, just popped out at my veins at the injection site of the contrast. He just looked at it and looked at me. He didn't schedule anything for me to have anything, nothing. He just looked at my arm and looked at me. No care. I had been in and out of the ER more times than I've ever been in my entire life. I've never had to go back and forth to the hospital for anything. I never had a problem. And what terrifies me on top of everything that's happening to me is that so many things that I'm experiencing point to or are so similar to what the Tuskegee Men went through back in the 30s and 40s. It's almost been a year. I have gotten no care for what has been happening to me whatsoever. The last time I went to the ER, I've been 4 times since Christmas, and it's March. The last time I went to the ER, because I'm not getting any care, any treatment for what's been happening to me, it's doing its thing. It's doing more of whatever it is. I went in the ER because my legs, my feet, and my hands were completely numb. My hands were so numb that I couldn't feel myself holding an ink pen in my hands. I went into the ER. They did their blood work. They know who I am when I come in there at this point. They knew it months and months back. So I went into the ER. They did the blood work, come back. Oh, your blood work is great. You're good. We're issuing you your discharge papers. I said to the woman, I said, ma'am, I have been back and forth and back and forth. Y'all can't keep just letting me go like this. I need some help. I need some treatment. I need something for whatever's happening to me. Well, your blood work is good, ma'am, and I don't know what else to tell you. So they discharged me. My discharge papers at the bottom clearly state if you have any numbness or tingling in any part of your body, in any of your extremities, call 911 immediately or report to your local emergency room. I say to the ER doctor that just saw me, it clearly says this right here. If you have any numbness in your body, report to the ER. He said, that's for next time. Next time. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But it shouldn't have been surprising to me because prior to that, months before, when I was in the ER, because of all of the burning that was going on in my breast, it was on a scale of like a 9. Just burning. I never felt anything like it in my life. I was told my blood work was good. I was given my discharge papers there. I said again, I need help. I need some help. Why are y'all constantly telling me this is good and that is good, and I'm experiencing all this craziness going on in my body all of a sudden ever since I got that contrast? The head nurse told me if I didn't leave, security would be called. Blatant disregard. This is at a point, this was in August, September, that it's beginning to hit me that I'm being lied to, number 1. This is purposeful. Number 2, and I'm being lied to. These people know what I'm dealing with, and this blatant disregard is proof that they literally do not care, and they're not going to tell me anything different. That's what I'm getting. I ended up walking out of there with the same pain I walked in with. here we are now. What is it? March 28th, 2021. I'm weeks away from this whole thing being a year. And I have not received one shred of treatment, 1 ounce of care. And because all of a sudden I've been speaking that to the doctors that I've been in front of lately, all of a sudden now they want to offer me something. All of a sudden now it's I have all this inflammation in my body out of nowhere, and so they want to give me something for the inflammation. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, okay. So that you can't say, because since I've been voicing that all this time I haven't gotten any care, now you want to give me something so you can't say that I haven't received any care. In the back of my mind, that care that you're trying to issue me is something that has nothing to do with what I'm going through. It's something, it's a placebo. Just like with the Tuskegee Men, they were given aspirin. Nothing to do with what they were going through. And I'm not saying that what I received was syphilis, but I feel like it's a toxicity in my bloodstream because all of this alarming burning has begun ever since I had that procedure. And it's just burning, it's burning everywhere. One of the symptoms, blood work, always taken with the Tuskegee. They always wanted to get their blood work to see what their levels were, is my thinking. To see where they were at that stage is my thinking. Always want blood work. Same with me. But never any treatment for what you're dealing with. Just blood work. And what do I get when after I get my blood work? Oh, your blood work is fine. That's so I won't get no treatment. That's so I won't get any treatment whatsoever. So getting the blood work is the study. Not receiving any treatment, another similarity. After a while, during the study, and this is something that I got from research, and during the study, researchers scandalously withheld the drug that would cure the men so that they could continue to chart the course of the disease when untreated. Many of the men experienced damage to their vital organs and nervous systems. Lately, now it's been 11 months. For the last month, my left side of my back has been stiff as a board sometimes. And knots, I get knots in the left side of my back. Sometimes those knots move like to the center of my back, up and down the center of my back. Sometimes I get stabbing pains down in my stomach area, like it feels almost like bad cramps, but they're stabbing pains. Those are my vital organs. Again, because I haven't been receiving the care that I so desperately need, this thing is doing other things. I was driving one day, and I had my purse sitting on my left side of me. My phone was hanging out of my purse, and thank God my camera was on, and it captured my arm. It was a video, but when I first saw the video, it was so alarming, and I wasn't thinking at the time that I ended up deleting it. When I went into my delete file to capture it, ironically, for some reason, I couldn't. But somehow, I was able to grab a picture of it out of that deleted file. This is a picture, I hope the glare isn't too bad, of my arm. Now, if that isn't showing some kind of turmoil going on under the surface, I don't know what is. That's my arm. That's my pants leg, my shirt, and that's my arm reaching out to my steering wheel. And that's what the image captured. This is a more close-up picture of my arm. It just looks like turmoil. My blood is probably jumping off the charts. But I'm constantly told that, oh, your blood work is good. Your blood work work is good. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. I've missed so much work because of everything I'm experiencing, and I'm the type of person I never like to call in to my employer and give them a reason as to why I can't come to work. Never. I've missed so much work in these last 11 months. It's ridiculous. I had to file for FMLA to save my job because otherwise I wouldn't have one anymore. I gotta get up every day. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep moving. And it's incredibly frightening because I know what I'm experiencing. I know what I'm dealing with. And nobody, no matter where I go, this started in April of last year. After I continuously went back and forth to different hospitals, and they were blatantly not giving me any care whatsoever, just turning me away at every turn, no matter where I went. I began to think, what's going on? So I started going to different states. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Cleveland. I've been to DC. I've been to Maryland, just trying to get some help. Everywhere I go, I'm told your blood work is fine. I begin to think, is this a lie? There's no way. In September, this craziness sent me to the ER again. I was told, your blood work is good. We're discharging you. I told that woman, I said, look, I don't know what's going on, but if y'all continue to turn me away, this hospital's going to be in trouble. She took them discharge papers back and came back 5-10 minutes later. You're being admitted. Really? Now, again, I'm dealing with so much and I'm going through so much at the time that I need to sometimes voice a question or a statement. It's not at the top of my thinking. What I should have asked her right then and there was, what am I being admitted for? Surely you're not admitting me just because I said I need to be admitted. But you see that conflict. I'm good. My blood work is good. I'm being discharged. But the minute I say that if y'all keep letting me go like this hospital's going to be in trouble, I get admitted. I'm so thankful to be getting admitted. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, finally, I'm going to get some care. Finally, I'm going to be okay again. I was in the hospital for 3 days. 3 days. All they did was take blood work, day in and day out. 3 days. All they did was take blood work. I mean, vials of blood work that they collected in those little miniature bottles that look like liquor bottles, cultures. Blood, just getting all the blood they could to study me as much as they could to see where my levels were. And if that wasn't enough, the next morning they wanted more. What did I get for all of my burning and all of my pain while I was in there? Nothing. One morning I rang the nurse's button. My breasts again. It's so unnatural. And we all know our bodies. Burning. I rang the bell. I told her my breasts were hurting. A lady, a female I'm talking to. She asked me that I want some Tums. It's like it's a punch in the face. It's a slap in the face. They're laughing at me without giggling. Tums? Girl, my breasts are on fire. Now, this is a girl young enough to be my daughter. My breasts are on fire, and you asking me, do I want some Tums? But this, again, is just a tip of the iceberg. It's the blatant disregard that I'm subject to every single time I go in there. Now, another thing that I found was, after the 3 days, when I got home, I found in my discharge papers a sheet that shocked me. One paragraph states, based on your medical condition and care, it has been decided that you need observation monitoring. When I read that, I was like, what in the world? What the hell? What are you talking about? Observation monitoring. According to you, I'm good. According to you, my blood work is fine. According to you, I don't have a problem. So why then do I need observation monitoring? This means your doctor is reviewing your health on an outpatient basis. That's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. During this time of observation, you may have testing and treatment. When I read that, the first thing that went through my mind is because at this point, I don't believe anything they say anymore. At this point, it's September. I've been going through this since April. And it's been getting worse gradually. At this point, I know they lying to me. I can't prove it, but I know it because it's happening to me. So when I read during this time of observation, you may have testing and treatment. The first thing I say to myself, you're not testing me on anything. You're not testing me on nothing. You're not treating me. You're not testing me on nothing. That's my thing to myself. Once your observation period is over, you may be admitted to the hospital as an inpatient for further treatment. Now you say, I'm good. You say my blood work is good, my blood work is fine, I don't have a problem. So why would I need to be admitted to the hospital for observation as an inpatient for further treatment? Further treatment for what? Okay, that's number 1. You're telling on yourself. You may need to move to another facility or you will finish your observation care and be sent home. Another facility. And the first thing that hit me was, why would I need to move to another facility? Is this thing because you all are not giving me what I need on purpose so bad that it's going to take me to a point where you're going to have to put me in another facility? And if y'all know what I'm talking about when I say another facility, a facility where what? I'm just totally unable to do anything. And I don't even want to voice the facility that I'm thinking about. But it begins with the letter H. But that's what this is telling me. As an inpatient, once your observation period is over, you may be admitted to the hospital as an inpatient for further treatment. You may need to move to another facility or you will finish your observation care and be sent home. Get out of your mind. Whatever it is y'all want to study, whatever it is y'all want to do, it stops right here. You're not studying me for anything. That's my take. That's what I'm telling myself. And then it dawned on me. And I thought, well, my God, if I just fight this thing and fight this thing and fight this thing with everything I got, with everything in me, even if I don't go back in there another time, in the ER another time, that's all a part of their observation. Because it tells them how long a human body, a female human body, can go before breaking down totally, I guess. Crazy. The similarity to the Tuskegee Men is they were given a similar letter, or it was voiced to them similar. And this is what that said then. You will now be given a last chance for a second examination. This examination is a very special one, and after it is finished, you will be given a special treatment if it is believed you are in condition to stand it. My God. The devil is a liar. I need medical attention immediately. I'm still going through my days by the grace of God. I'm sorry, but I need the care that my body so desperately needs. Oh God. President Biden, Vice President Harris, former presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Mr. Bill Clinton, I know you presented to one of the last surviving Tuskegee Men an award. God, Oprah, I know you get millions and millions and millions of hits on every site you have all the time. But I reached out and I reached out and I reached out to you so many times. Every attempt gets knocked down. Isn't that surprising? Every attempt that I set out to do, it's either it's blocked, it's cut off, it never reaches the recipient. When I reach out to some of the people that I know personally that are in a position, people who know people, those people never get what I send out. Every turn that I take, every cry that I reach out for help, I receive nothing back in response. Like I said, the NAACP, I'm reaching out to people that I expect to get some help from. Al Sharpton. I called one morning on this live with Al Sharpton radio show one Sunday morning. Finally got through, picked up the line, and I understand because what I was initially trying to speak about wasn't the topic of the day for his show. That particular day, he was talking about the riot on the Capitol. But as soon as he heard the first sentence that I began to speak, he quickly told me that he was going to switch me back to his assistant who would take my name and my information and, we go from there. That was January, I think. She was supposed to call me back the very next day. I never received a call. And like I said, I don't know what source of power is behind this thing. But my every attempt is being shot down. So many weird situations I've experienced since this whole thing began and since they began to know that I'm moving out, I'm moving about, I'm trying to get the help that I need, going to different states and everything. Once they found that, because of course that's in my medical records every time I go somewhere else, whatever it is, it's in there. It's in there. Because the disregard begins as soon as they find out who I am. Like everybody else, like anybody else, I just want to live. I've always been healthy, never had a health issue. I want my health back. I want my life back. I don't deserve this. Nobody does. I am not receiving the medical care that I need on purpose. They quick to want to give me some anxiety medication though, from the door. And when I constantly tell them, absolutely not. I don't need any anxiety medication. What I need is what's going to take this thing away that is causing all of this disruption, this discord, this alarming burning in my body. That's what I need. Oh, well, we know it's the pandemic and a lot of people are experiencing it. I don't need that. Bless God, my mind, everything I'm going through, with everything I'm going through, my mind is good. Thank you, God. What I need is what's going to take care of what's going on. But no, they'd rather continue with their study or whatever it is they're doing instead of fixing the problem. Instead of fixing the problem. I'm not getting the care I so desperately need. Recently, I found a new PCP, told them everything that I was going through. And it's already known because I was going through an advocacy group where I had to give all of the information, give them access to my medical records, and give them all of the information in my take on what I was dealing with and what I've been experiencing. And so now that's in my file, and that was passed on to the doctors. So before I see any other doctor, they already know what I'm dealing with. But when I go in front of them, it's like, how can I help you today? What are you going through? And I'm like, you already know. You know exactly why I'm here. You know exactly what I'm dealing with. The doctor that referred me to you told me verbally that he would make sure you understood everything I was dealing with before I got here. So why are you sitting there acting like you don't know? And I didn't say that part, but I'm looking at him like, you already know exactly what I'm dealing with. So don't waste your time, and please don't waste mine. Just help me. You know what I got in response? Drink water. I can't make this stuff up. Drink water. Everything that I'm telling him that I'm dealing with, burning all in my breast, and this has been off and on now for 11 months, all in my arms, specifically my right arm, where I got the contrast injected, all through my legs, my feet, hands, numb all the time. Now I'm having all this pain all in my back. My tongue sometimes is so coated. It feels like I got a blanket or a covering or something laying on the top of my tongue. It's completely coated. I couldn't brush it off with a back brush. Just coated. It's a sign of a toxin in your bloodstream. Another sign of a toxin. It's called, and I always mispronounce the word, candida or candida. And if it's not treated, it can spread. Later, after I was first experiencing it, I started having trouble with I don't know if it was my lymph nodes or my thyroid, but I told my then PCP that. She rudely checked my neck. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing. I told her sometimes when I swallow, it feels like there's a lump there. Sometimes it doesn't. I guess it flares up and flares down. Sometimes my tongue isn't coated. Sometimes it is. Forgive this, but I'm gonna show you. If it feels kind of thick now. Yeah, that's mild. That's mild. Okay, I was told to drink water because I'm not getting the care that I need, and I'm gonna cut this short. And this ain't even the whole of it. But again, other things I'm beginning to experience. The tips of my ears burn sometimes. The back of my head to the level of the tips of my ears. I had to practically beg to see a toxicologist, and this was early on. I saw the toxicologist finally. After repeatedly asking my PCP to see the toxicologist. It was like, she didn't want me to see a toxicologist. She kept saying, maybe you need to see a neurologist. Maybe you need to see a neurologist. I'm not a doctor, but I just knew that wasn't who I needed to see. Every time I went to see a neurologist, the neurologist ruled me out. What I was experiencing wasn't related, wasn't in their field. I went to see a rheumatologist because that's where my then PCP sent me. The rheumatologist ruled me out. She continued to have me go back and forth, seeing the neurologist again and again and again. And I began to say, well, why are you constantly sending me back to the same people, the same specialists that I've already seen that has ruled me out? I began to think it was her way of allowing more time to pass, because at that time, appointments were like, what, a month out here and a month out there. So I started thinking it was just their way of allowing more time to pass. And like I said, it's almost a year, a full year now. Some of the stuff I read with the Tuskegee Men, some of them expired 9 months to a year, or the study was supposed to go 9 months to a year, and it ended up going much longer, as we know, years and years. But I need help. I need help. I had to beg to see the toxicologist. Finally, I saw a toxicologist. I told him the burning had moved to that's a toxicity in your bloodstream. I'm not a doctor, and I know that. I knew it before I started reading things because of what I was experiencing. Sometimes when your body is trying to rid itself of toxins, you can have an odd body odor. Sometimes it'll come through your breath. your urine or your sweat glands. With me, it comes through my sweat glands all the time. I can bathe, I can shower, and sometimes under my arms, I'll get this odd odor. Just odd. And I told my doctors that. When I researched it, what did I get? Exactly what I was saying. That odor comes from your body trying to rid itself of toxins. Everything I research points back to toxins. And that's why I'm so happy with the belief that, I don't know what was in that contrast, but I feel like I have a toxicity in my bloodstream and I am not receiving the care that I so desperately need. An infection, something, the candida, the lymph nodes in my neck, my breast burning, my arm, everything that I'm experiencing, everything that's happening to me. Toxicologism. You would think that would alarm him. I had blood work. Blood work was good. Let them tell it. I don't deserve this. I need help. Immediate help at this point. My back sometimes it's just going all through me, whatever it is, because I'm not getting the care that I need. I'm new to this TikTok thing, so I don't know. I guess I pray. I pray that you all get this. My life depends on it. I don't know. I'm gonna leave my info, contact info. I live in Pittsburgh. My name is Laura. My phone number is 412-657-1728. Please help me. Thank you. God bless. Oh God, I hope I haven't forgotten any of the major things I wanted to say, but that was the gist of it. Thank you.